if you can capture those ideas, hand them off to a writer, get into a workflow, I really think you can get to a point that you can get comfortable with that workflow. So I've been building out a content team for my own content. I'm doing these videos, and then I have a video editor, I have a writer, and I'm sort of building out a team. And then I'm wanting to productize that. So we're spinning up a productized service to essentially do content, and writing is a component of that. I've been really happy with what we've done so far. But what I want to say here is, and there's some discussion of this in the Twitter thread, is whether you should try to outsource the writing. I actually recorded a video on this yesterday and talked about the process I've been using, which is basically record a video of yourself. Maybe it's 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, and then hand that off to a writer and have them write it for you. And so that's a process that it's been working well for me. In the one sense, it is sort of impossible to outsource the content because your business is the content. You can't just like hire a writer and say, hey, can you write about X topic and expect them to do a good job of it? Because you have all the industry knowledge in your head, right? And what people are paying for is that knowledge of the industry and those insights. But if you can get to a point where you spend a relatively short amount of time to capture that content, whether it's video or audio, find a writer that can get good at sort of understanding your voice and your tone, and just it's not a transcription, obviously, it's translating your video audio content into writing. I've been really happy with it. They're posting directly to my own personal LinkedIn account. It's performing well in terms of engagement, and when I read the content, I'm happy with it. I'm pretty particular, but like if somebody's representing my voice, like I want it to be right. You know, I'm not saying that. I think you probably have a higher bar for quality for what you're doing because people are literally paying for the content. So you probably have a higher bar there than what I'm doing, to be totally honest, but I still think it's possible. The question for me is, are you still generating those insights on a daily basis because you're just interested in it, you're following tech news, you're thinking about it? If that's the case, I would say try to capture those thoughts in 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. And instead of spending the whatever it is, hour, 2, 3 hours a day, I think you mentioned in the thread getting up at 5 a.m. every day, which is funny. I did that for a long time. I'm a morning guy, and I'd get up. I had a full-time job and I was building my business. I'd get up at 5 a.m. or 4 a.m. or 4:30, work for 2 hours before I started. And so that's kind of the grind. But if you can capture those ideas, hand them off to a writer, get into a workflow, I really think you can get to a point that you can get comfortable with that workflow. And the thing is that they're writing it based on what you're saying, based on your ideas, and they're just wordsmithing it, really. So I think it can work. Now if you were to say, you know what, I'm not even into tech news anymore, I'm so burned out on it, I don't read tech news, I have no thoughts on it, or the only thoughts I have are because I'm forcing myself to put out the content, then I would say maybe fold it up or take a break, to give yourself a month break or something like that. But for me, I'm generating tons of written content, which I'm happy with the content. It's performing well. And I only spend this half hour a day recording video, and then it goes through a post-production process. And I really enjoy this. Like, it's energy giving for me. It's not energy sucking. If I tried to spend an hour to write something, it would suck the energy away from me. Anyway, those are my thoughts on that. And again, we are spinning up this service. So if you'd like some help with that, I'd be happy to help. And I think that's it.